Değerli Esport izleyenleri, Turkish Airlines EuroLeague'de 2024-2025 sezonu medya gününden herkese merhabalar. Anadolu Efes'le birlikteyiz ve Anadolu Efes koçu Tomislav Mijatovic yanımızda. Coach, merhaba.
Merhaba.
We have to do it in English.
Sure.
But we've been talking in Turkish.
We have, but I think in English will be much easier for our beautiful audience to get my point across, hopefully.
How are you? How was the summer?
Very good. Thank you so much. Very good. A very nice summer, very successful, but at the same time relaxing. So we did job and relaxation at the same time, so we were able to manage both. So inshallah, we will see the results soon.
Inshallah. And then you were in Croatia, your hometown in Zagreb. You say, I don't know, I've been one time in Croatia, but is it better the summers out there or in Turkey? Which one you prefer to spend time?
I cannot be fully subjective or objective because I live in Turkey for 15 years now, and it's my home without any extra feelings toward it. It's just how it is, and my heart and soul is here. But at the same time, Zagreb and Hrvatska is my home country and hometown. And of course, when you go for a short period of time, you want to do everything at once because you want to fill your batteries. You want to see the dear people. You want to see the family, mom and dad, parents, friends, everybody. So it's equally, my heart has room for both places, and it's deeply enrooted.
Exactly. You cannot be subjective or objective.
Cannot.
But as you mentioned before, you said to one of my colleagues from a different TV channel, it was a great interview, by the way, you said, it's not my second home, it's my home for Turkey.
Yeah, it is. It's because, it's hard to explain to people because I'm very deeply enrooted and proud with my Zagreb roots and my Croatian roots. It's something that I proudly cherish and I will always do. But at the same time, when you are so warmly welcomed by a country and a city like my family and I are by Istanbul in Turkey for 15 years, my son is born in Istanbul, so we have a special connection with Istanbul and Turkey because once your only child is born in the place, you automatically become even more connected.
Sure.
There is no other way to explain it, So therefore, I take it as a privilege. I take it as with a lot of pride that these two countries are our home, and these two cities are our home, and we really enjoy every second of it.
And before talking about Anadolu Efes personally, because now it's the first time that I have a chance to talk to you other than EuroLeague interviews this long, so I would like to ask you, I want to know, who is Tomislav Mijatovic? What does he do in his daily life other than basketball?
It's really not something super spectacular to entertain you with this. A family man, because I spend all of my time outside of the court with my family, my wife and son. They're here with me all the time, 24/7. So basically, when our time permits us, we like to do our things in Istanbul that we have as our, let's say, traditions and daily escapes. Our son, of course, goes to school, so our program is based on him and his program. Usual stuff, kahve, park,
Turkish food.
Of course,
Croatian
a lot of it.
Food.
A lot of it Turkish food, a lot of the
balık.
Everything,
kebab.
Everything. And it's really enjoyable. We have a lot of friends in Istanbul, a lot of friends in our neighborhood, a lot of friends that we've in these 15 years, established and we have a tremendous relationship with. So basically, there is nothing too tremendous to discover. It's a family-oriented, tremendously family. Is a circle that we cherish and keep very close to our heart, and that's what fills up my batteries on a daily occasions because I love the family routine. I love the small things that you can do with your family and dear friends on a daily basis. So that's what my humble self does on a daily basis.
But this is wonderful. I think this explains a lot your relationship, the key of your relationship with the players in the team, because whoever gives an interview, they always mention your name as you're a figure, as a father figure for them or brother figure.
This relates, and I give them a lot of credit to the players because it's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. You know, once somebody opens up your heart, and of course we have started building our relationship in a different way with most of our players. I started as an assistant coach for many years. We've done everything since they were grown up. Some of those guys are now considered older players. We just consider how old I actually am, you know. So, you know, and they were like çocuklar at that time. So, you know, when you start a relationship like that, it's important not to change the meaning of the relationship, you know, because as every human relationship, once you give your honest face, your honest self to the person, you will get something in return, whatever they accept you as. And therefore, that's how I build our relationship here and with our players. I try to. Of course, you know, the job itself and the games and the season, there's a lot of stress on all of us, but that's normal.
A lot.
But that's normal. That's, you know, I try to mention to the players, and I keep that as a mantra, but this is something that I live by and I really try to implement in them. We are Efes. And once you say that, once you live that, it takes a different toll on it, because you need to understand what it takes. And every club, every organization have their own roots, have their own qualities, have their own traditions. We have ours, and we know what it takes, and we know what our own expectations are. Therefore, that relationship that we talked about on a human relationship, once it's there, it's easier to build our strategy, our goals, and our ideas further down the line. This is something that I try to relate to them, and they know. They're very, very much so into it, and I'm very, very happy and honored to be surrounded by these guys.
Mm-hmm. And I think it also brings the dynamics on the table, good dynamics.
True.
That it's just like human relationship, but you have to also manage it in a good level. And we're seeing in EuroLeague right now a lot of experienced coaches, a lot of ego controlling coaches, stress controlling coaches, and you are here right now as EuroLeague head coach.
Yeah, it's something that is working with the great coaches that I had a privilege of working with. I never try to copy them, but I try to see, because those guys are great. They've been doing it for 20, 30 years.
Great names.
Great names. Tremendous names.
Sarıca, Mahmudi.
If we go with Ergin Hoca, you know, Peras, all those guys, Kodzuros, you know, all those guys that I've been around with, if I'm able to implement and get 5% of each of them into something in addition to what I have to offer, it's a good base. It's a good start, you know.
Very true.
Because this job, it's not a job. This is lifestyle, you know. This is not
Really?
a job. I don't see it as a job.
Why?
It's a lifestyle. You can't consider your childhood dream. We all started picking up the basketball and shooting it in our backyard or with our friends or somewhere. So once you're lucky and fortunate enough to have that as something that you do on a daily basis, then it's not a job. It's not.
So,
for me, it's a lifestyle.
So, but at the same time, you're from Croatia, ex-Yugoslavia. Yeah. I think capital of basketball for me personally. It's the capital of basketball, of the talents, of the hardworking.
Right.
So you're seeing more than I do. Young talents in Serbia, Croatia, Sarajevo. But how come that they can be Vasilije Micic? How come that they can be Nikola Jokic?
There is no formula in basketball that you can copy, paste, and implement to everybody. You got to introduce the talent, the cultural background, the mental approach to things.
Sure.
And you got to finesse it and allow that talent to grow and to flourish and to get to the point where you say, okay, now this is a superstar. But it takes time. And we, in a former Yugoslavia, were very fortunate that talent on all sides is just going from left to right, you know.
Very right.
It's there. And throughout history, we were able to flourish and get a lot out of that talent. Now, in recent times, that talent, with all the struggles financially, this and that, it's still there. But what I'm very happy with is that talent and the basketball culture is spreading throughout Europe. Now in Europe, in the last 10 years, you have basketball being played competitively from milli takım to clubs on all different levels. And you can see the spread of new talents and new bases of basketball, which is good for basketball. And therefore, I think us living in Turkey, which is very talent-rich country, there's no fear for new, like you said, Nikola Jokic's or Vasilij Micic, or on the other side, Hidayet, or Hidayet Turkoglu, or Ibrahim Kutlay, or Mehmet Okur. There is no fear. There is going to be new ones coming up. We just have to give kids opportunity to play, and then channelize them into right way, accept the new styles of life, and allow them to flourish. And there is going to be no fear for new superstars, I'm convinced.
I agree definitely, and it's, I think, a deep conversation too.
For sure.
But what you said as a lifestyle, it touched me, because when you see, it's kind of a lifestyle, but at the same time, you worked with Ergin Ataman.
I did.
And
my privilege and pleasure.
He personally says to all of his friends, family members, that how much he loves and appreciates you as a person, and not as a family member, not from a person that he knows from Anadolu Efes or former name Efes Pilsen.
Right.
You are like a family member to him.
Well, I'm very proud that a person of that magnitude on and off the court. We're not just talking about Ergin abi as a coach, who we all know how successful and what has he done for the European basketball in last 20, 30 years, how successful he is. But I'm saying on a human relationship, when you're able to establish one family closeness and friendship that goes beyond basketball, that is the biggest compliment and the biggest privilege that I can ever ask for. Because not only that we talk about basketball, that we share stuff from basketball, we talk about life in general and share some ideas and ways of life outside of the basketball. Although I go back to my statement that basketball is our lifestyle, so everything kind of circles back to basketball. But like I said, I cannot ask for more, and I cannot ask for a better validation of anything than the friendship being built. That's that strong. And I'm fortunate that I had great mentors, not just from Ergin Hoca further down the line, as we mentioned, and that with a great majority of these coaches, past our working relationship, there has been friendship built. And this is what I'm trying to teach generations to come, that when sports and when basketball does this to people, it reflects to people that watch basketball. Right. And it sends the right message that basically, the sport filters and generates friendships. And if more people are playing sports, the more people are going to be involved in smarter things than what some other people are doing. And it's going to be a better message to the new generations that come, because it's our obligation to show the right message to the kids that are watching the games, to the people that are following our players. We have to not just score baskets, of course, it's a plus, but we got to also send the right message. And those friendships, like I said, I take tremendous amount of pride in those. That's something that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and that's something that makes me the happiest man when I start thinking about all these friendships that are built, that have been built, and I'm doing everything I can to even deepen and become even better friend with those people, because it's a privilege and honor.
When you took the flag from your really good friend Erdemcan,
yes,
you showed your appreciations to him, but at the same time, cameras were focusing on you to see if you are feared by, if you are stressed, if you have the fear, if you have some doubts about taking that responsibility. Can you explain that period of time?
It is something that I haven't expected in any. I know that for some people maybe it sounds strange, but I was doing the same job for 14 years with a lot of passion and enthusiasm, and I was completely, into it.
Right.
And Erdem Hoca is, of course, a friend of mine that we've been building our friendship for over 12 years on a daily basis. And then when he accepted me in his staff, is something that and he knows, and we talked about it a million times, that I truly appreciate. And it was something new that we all started building around. And he's a coach that I told him this, and he knows this, and outside people know this. He's a super, not only talented, but coach with great basketball ideas, modern basketball ideas. And when this happened, he told me at the same time, he said, now continue. Now, good luck and all that stuff, because when the change happened, it was, like you said, it was at one point you're doing something totally new. He offered me his support. At the same time, I had a enormously positive and super supportive talks with our Mr. President of Anadolu Efes, of course, and our general manager, Mr. Alper Yılmaz. And those words of encouragement at that kind of a bridge point when you're stepping into something completely new, those words of encouragement just make you not think about other things, just make you focus on your next step, because they really said all the right things at the right time, and I'm super thankful for that. And that's why that part of transition in my mind went, let's say, quicker than I anticipated. And of course, the great acceptance and appreciation from our FS fans kind of helped lift the burden a little bit more. And of course, then our players, once everybody got healthy, once everybody got back on the court, they did an amazing job for that. So I thank each and every one of those people for this opportunity that is not necessarily an opportunity that I, like I said, waited for, but once it was presented and given to me, it is the biggest honor that our Mr. President or our club could give to me in any way, shape, or form. This is for me the biggest honor in Europe. For me, I say it for myself.
For yourself.
Yes.
Why you think they chose you as a head coach?
I really haven't analyzed that in depth. I just thank them for that. And I thanked Mr. President for that when he and Mr. Alper Yılmaz explained me their decision. I like the fact that all of us here feel that the job and the situation of carrying the torch of our team stay within our family, because we are FS and we are all kind of raised in the same FS way. So I'm hoping and praying and doing everything in my absolute power with these guys that are doing everything in their power, meaning the team and the staff and everybody around the team, to implement that FS culture into the new players that came into our team, so we can all flourish as fast as possible.
And because I asked you that because there were so many coaches that they were not working with the club during that time, but FS chose you. I think personally it shows that the character of the franchise, FS, that 14 years that you've been working with them, and now you have 2-year extension contract that as a head coach. It shows a lot of a character of a franchise.
It shows one tremendous hour from our club that's enrooted from, again, our Mr. President has enrooted this into the club and into us who are raised by the club. And it shows tremendous support, which is, I think, something that is rare in Europe, something that is very good, and it's unbelievably, I would say, rewarding, but it goes from the standard that Mr. President and of course Alper Yılmaz as our general director, both of them implemented them into us. And this has been done before throughout FS history, that coaches from the family became head coaches, and they were given this opportunity because it's something that FS does. And I'm
Aydınlar, Sergin Ataman, Oktay Mahmudi,
Ufuk Hocam and all that. So basically, I'm very super proud and super thankful to be in line in the same sentence with those great names. And I really cannot explain the amount of thankfulness that my family and myself have for this, but I will try to offer and try to show that on the court. And that's something that I think is the best way that I can show and really verbalize my appreciation for this, because this is, to me, there is no bigger reward than this. And this is not an empty word, because for me and for my family, Efes is not the club. It's more than a club. You know, and this is something that I always say to people. Some people think it's a little bit strange when you say it, but to me, that's how I feel. That's and due to that, I try to do everything more mentally at least, because it means that much more. Very and I'm not saying that I'm better or worse because of that, or I do a better job than some other people do. No. This is not. I'm just saying I'm explaining my personal feeling towards the club, that that is more than a club to me, and that's just how it is.
Last year, you're the head coach. You became a head coach. Playing period, stressful. Before of all of that, 8 players were injured.
Yeah.
A lot of players were injured. Captain Shane Larkin, you. I was seeing some talks during the locker room area. How is your relationship with the captain, with the star of EuroLeague?
Well, we have built one tremendously. It's a relationship that I think it's going to be very difficult for either of us to copy in the future, because it's unique.
I can tell.
As soon as Shane came to our team, we started building the relationship, and that was a long time ago. And that relationship just flourished and grew. So we go from talking about basketball to talking about American football to talk about something else that we saw, but a lot of times it takes only eye contact or gesture that we know, okay, this is what we need. This, because it's like,
really,
we spend so much time together. It's normal. All the practices, all the trips, all the post-game practices, all the meetings, all the situations that we all wanted it so much. As soon as Shane came to the club, we felt there's going to be something special. And it didn't, let's say, take off right away, but it took off. And once it took off, there was no stopping. And our relationship, really grew from that point on, since the first week he arrived. And I'm very, very proud of this, because it's just something that it doesn't happen that often. Shane is a superstar, deservedly so. He earned everything that happens to him. By his work, by his leadership, by his quality, by his amazing sports achievements that he has done. Mentality is unbelievable. And, that's why I think him being the franchise player of our club that I care about more than just the club, as I said a little bit earlier, to me, it's like a match made in heaven. So it's like really, really, it's a unique relationship, and I cherish it. And I cherish it on the court, but I also cherish it off the court just as much.
New team. I can call it new team. I saw that they were taking pictures, and I was following, as all of the basketball fans, following the transfer times. Poirier, Vora, Smits, Johnson.
Right.
New additional players. How do you see this, and what would you like to say to the audience or the basketball fans for this new season's new players and the new technical point of view, new system of Anadolu Efes?
Well, and I remember I spoke about this with Arian before, during his Efes time. It's important to, when we talked about this culture that we bring in Efes, goes from the top, from Mr. President all the way down. It's important to have the flag bearers of that culture on the floor. That's why we build the team, the base of this team, for about 6-7 years. So now when we came into this summer, we understood that we're going to have to, it's going to be inevitable, we're going to part ways with 4 players. Those are big names that we parted ways for. Those are names that are, Will Clyburn is a former EuroLeague MVP. He's one of the probably one of the biggest small forwards in EuroLeague history. Tibor Pleiss did amazing job for us. 6 years, 2 EuroLeague titles, 1 EuroLeague final. Incredible. The newcomers, both Mike Daum and Tyreek Jones, did a very nice job for us, and they contributed to our team last year. So when you're changing and going away from players like that, now when you're adding pieces to the established base of the team that's here, you have to be very careful. You need some sports fortune to kind of smile your way.
Okay.
And help from above. And I think and I feel that we have done so in the summertime, because we brought players that are in all positions. They're very uniquely talented, skilled, and gifted to add significant value to our team and what we're trying to do. We brought Vincent, who is a proven winner and on the biggest stage from Real Madrid, the national team. We brought Roland Smits, who is not only from the national team, from Barcelona, from Žalgiris, who is established name on EuroLeague map. And we wanted to add those guys that are not only established, but they know how to win. They know what it takes. So when we talk about our FS culture, we brought guys that are acceptant to this culture quick. And then we made 2 moves that were very necessary. And maybe they're not so popular in EuroLeague history, although in past 2, 3, 4 years, more teams are turning towards that. We knocked on the NBA doors. And with thorough analysis, with connections, with
maybe
meetings,
help of Elijah Bryant,
help of everybody, everybody gets their credit for that, because we felt that we got 2 great players that will bring, we hope, instant impact, but also they have their individual qualities that exactly what we needed for this team to function the way we want it to function. So that's why we said that assessment of our summer, of hard work that's been put on from our front office to our meetings, to involving literally everybody. It's not an overnight process. And again, with the help from our friends on other side of the pond, as we like to say, on the NBA side as well, we were able to analyze and scout and evaluate 2 players that we feel are great. And they're gonna hopefully, with a little bit of adjustment to European game, provide a lot of happiness for our fans in the years to come.
And do you see Stanley Johnson as a good replacement of Will Clyburn?
I don't believe in replacements.
Okay.
Because, Will Clyburn is Will Clyburn. Stanley Johnson is Stanley Johnson. Jordan Nwora is Jordan Nwora. I don't think when Will was coming to Europe, he wasn't a replacement of anybody. He was just Will Clyburn. And he is a super established player. He is a person very, very, very close to me off the court as well. We keep our communication open to this day. And I don't see that anybody is a fair assessment of anybody to be anybody's replacement. These guys are unique. These guys both of them possess unique talent, toughness, physicality that I hope, and that our fans and everybody that loves FS will enjoy in the following season.
And other than the health situation, injury situation, what should be and what has to be actually different than last year?
Well,
on the court.
We've had last year, of course, injury problems from the get-go. I spoke about this with Erdem Hoca during the season also. It was unfortunate. It was 8 guys.
Right.
8 guys.
It's too much. Too many.
Happened. It's unbelievable. Now, in addition to that, we've had a kind of a new roster at that time also. Right. And then in addition to new roster, having those injuries doesn't help. So now in this roster, we hope that we have 4 new guys, where we have the guys that were other 10 guys or 11 guys were here for minimum 1 year to 6-year span. So that's temen, that's base. We're hoping that these additions are beneficial and they're going to be able to adapt quick and present this Efes style of play on the court as fast as we would like, which means immediately. Therefore, injuries are the only thing that we're hoping they're not going to happen. And of course, a little bit of basketball luck, that's always needed. Whoever tells you differently, they're lying. So I believe in that. So.
And what you see during the practices and what we cannot see before the season starts, can you explain the dynamics on the court that these guys are having right now as players?
It's a very lively, very high energy dynamic. We explained to them from the get-go that it's going to be intense and kind of a short, because as you know, we have rules that we can only practice a certain amount of time before the tip-off of the regular season. Therefore, we have had intense practices in Slovenia during our base camp. Then we moved to our pre-season tournaments in addition to practices, which is challenging because one day is game, next day is practice, next day is game, then it's practice. So we go. And these guys, what I am tremendously appreciative of, they've embraced it and they didn't take a step back. They want to push themselves. Once you have the team willing to push themselves and each other, it's a good sign. It's a good beginning. Then now we have to add and build on this, but I'm very happy how it goes.
I cannot wait to see the first game.
You and me both.
Yeah, I think everybody in the basketball world and the lovers. And EuroLeague, challenging, incredibly high level, intense basketball that we're watching. And now this year with, I don't know, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Anadolu Efes, Fenerbahçe, Beko, so much going on. Panathinaikos, Olympiacos, new transfers from NBA that are coming to Greece or to Turkey here. And also JD Osman, Panathinaikos. How do you, as a head coach of Efes with a 2-year contract, by the way, congratulations, hayırlı uğurlu olsun,
Çok sağ ol,
with that. How do you evaluate this EuroLeague, the fire of the basketball?
EuroLeague is the greatest basketball competition outside of the NBA, and whoever tells you differently, they're not aware.
I agree. No.
So that because of the quality of basketball and because the intensity of the fact that literally every game makes a difference, as we saw last year in the final, before the playoffs, before the play-ins, literally every point made a difference. Right. So. I firmly believe, and our guys believe that, or we at least try to analyze in that way with our players and our staff, of course, who is, by the way, a great staff, and they're doing a tremendous job, and I'm truly appreciative of them. That basically EuroLeague is getting tougher and tougher every year, but the competition and that type of mental and physical preparation for every game, I believe, brings the best out of people.
I agree.
And when you have quality players like we do, inshallah, no sakatlık, we will get better and better and better and better in this competition. And we believe that not only EuroLeague, but our Turkish basketball league is every year more competitive, more high level organized in every way. Therefore, both of those competitions bring the best out of the players because the players want to be challenged.
I agree.
Great players want to play great games. Great players want to compete against great opponents. Great players want to play in great atmospheres. This all is created in EuroLeague and in Besele. So in this situation, I understand that people will say, well, yeah, it's a marathon, it's exhausting. No, it's not.
No, it's not. There's only defense.
That's first of all. And second, I truly believe in I always say that, and sometimes people are like, okay, Tommy, step by step. But it really is, because if you focus on something that you might have to do in May or June or July, then you skip it on the fun between. Because I only believe in the next practice and the next game. Because those are the only things that you can control as a coach and as a team. Once we are focused only on that, with this level of talent and this level of competition, I'm pretty confident that we're going to make people happy. That's just my hopes, and I firmly believe in that.
And we are not going to be in Sinan Erdem no more.
Yes, we are making some changes.
It's a new house. It's a new home. Burası benim yerim.
Yes, yes. And you know, for somebody who has made the changes from Merter to Siyanerdem to Bağcılar, now back to the same area of Abdipekçi that we were before, and now with this beautiful new arenas that we have, it's unbelievable. I also saw the playing arena yesterday. It's spectacular. So this is something that I'm equally excited. New chapter, hopefully a successful chapter in our long, successful history. And again, really thrilled to be here because it's amazing atmosphere. And I know when our fans start pouring into the new arena, it's going to be again what I said to people last year for Siyanerdem and past years for Siyanerdem. I'm sure that electric atmosphere is going to transfer here. It's going to be even better, and it's going to be even more difficult for opponent teams to play against us.
And lastly, my job with you is always reporter, as a side reporter in EuroLeague. So I cannot ask you this, but what would you like to say to all the fans that are supporting you, that you would like to see from them, that you would like to feel from them, that you want to receive from them?
I just don't ever want them to change, just to stay what they are. Because I really feel, and again, I know people are thinking that's always politically correct to say when you say about your fans, but our fans know this for many years, that my feeling is like that and our feeling is like that. It is a unique breed in Efes fans. Those are unique, passionate people, and I don't ever want them to change. Just wherever we are, stay as humble and passionate as you are, and keep supporting us the way that you are. And like I said, I'm hoping, inshallah, many more successful years in a new arena for all of us together.
Çok teşekkürler Koç. Bu
Çok
güzel röportaj için.
Çok sağ ol.
See you on the first week of October.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, well, no, second, because it's going to be...
Yes, first week is déplacement, then we go, yes.
Exactly.
So on the second week, we're together, hopefully in a great mood.
Okay, and good luck for this new season with the new teams, and hopefully we'll be very happy with the success that a Turkish team is competing in EuroLeague.
Thank you so much, we appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Sevgili Esport izleyenleri, Tomislav Mijatovic'le röportajımızın sonuna geldik. Herkese iyi seyirler.